Okay, so first of all, we'll basically learn about the very, very basics of space environment and why a human needs to explore space, because that basic understanding of why human explorations are important for space and for future and the present times, and how these things will further relate to the health, food, and nutrition in space. You will be able to better understand that. So, firstly, you can see this section, this common line. So, first, it is important that we should know that from where the space starts. What is the basics of space, and which area basically can be said as space, because every area cannot be said as space. From here space starts, and this basic understanding of the range of height will make you understand why the this angle of uh, scientific study for health and nutrition greatly differs from what we study in general nutrition, or which we talk about general food. So a common line is basically an imaginary line from where it is said hypothetically that from here the space starts. The area above common line is the area which is considered as space, and below that it is considered within the Earth's periphery but at the higher altitude. So common line basically uh, lies almost around 100 kilometers, but if we go more precisely, it is around 84 kilometers. So here, from this basically is a transition phase where the complete Earth's environment ends and vacuum starts. And the vacuum basically is considered as a space environment, because we always say that space is a big vacuum, right? And that is a major reason that the environment in the two areas are very, very different, entirely different. I hope I'm audible to all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, as we start uh, uh, moving up towards the troposphere, which is the first layer where usually a plane flies. You can easily see in this image as well that this is the area around where the in the troposphere where the airplane flies, or any fighter jet or any helicopter, any such thing usually flies, but it is pretty higher than the normal uh, atmospheric range. Then comes the stratosphere, mesosphere, and almost uh, at the troposphere, the low from the lower to range of troposphere, this common line starts. So when we talk about the space in terms of food and the nutrition or health, we consider almost both of these areas, like aviation, which is particularly the range of troposphere, as well as the outer space. But both the areas are different. Both the areas are very different in terms of pressure, environment, composition, and lot many other activities which happens in the environment, and so as their physiology and how the body behaves in the two environments. Means when you are flying through the aeroplane, your body will behave differently, while when you are going to space, outer space, particularly in a space shuttle also, or you are living in a space environment at a space station, your body will entirely behave in a different way. So this this session today particularly is focused on the outer space section, but definitely both the area, the basic concepts applies to both the domains. So now the major thing which we see is after this, that what is the basic composition and why this environment, the space environment, is affecting the body entirely different in a different way. So first thing, you need to understand that you can see uh, this image, right? This image, and you can see that if you are on ground, uh, you are particularly very much attached to the gravitational pull. But as you go higher, your body starts experiencing the height. As you go higher with the altitude, at a particular point, you will start experiencing microgravity. Then again, when you start landing, then again you start coming more towards the gravitational pull. So these uh, going away from gravity and going again coming back to the gravitational pull, these things alters everything in your body, because not only just the height from the there are lot many things which changes with the altitude. What if we talk about the major characteristics of the space environment, the outer space environment, you can see here what is basically the difference between the troposphere and the outer space environment is that outer space environment temperatures are extreme. Either they will be very cold or they will be very, very hot. The temperature range in the outer space can vary from 100-degree hot to minus 100-degree cold. So huge variation in the temperature ranges. Then we know that because it is the high vacuum space, so again the pressure, there is no air, and the vacuum can be as high as minus 10 raised to the power minus 7 torr. So this pressure is very high, and vacuum or this pressure, the no vacuum, no and high pressure or no pressure experience by the body with the change in the altitude uh, varies the way the body fluids are circulating in the body. Then whatever we are experiencing is because of the energy. Means we know that everything which we experience is energy. So there are high charged ionic radiations which are basically the charged particles. There are so much. The ionizing radiations are very much in the outer environment, outer space environment, which are very prime factor for whatever the human body is experiencing or uh, gets limited to do something. So ionizing radiations are very damaging for the humans or any living entity which we know till now. Again, then there is the ionospheric plasma, which is also responsible for the induced charge. right? Which is again difficult and makes the space survival difficult, particularly the spacewalks. Then in vacuum, there is no sound. So there is difficulty uh, in whatever they are communicating in. Means the astronauts experiences a lot of auditory issues, if you can say. This acoustic sound is damaging to their astronauts, which is very much present. And then there is microgravity and this other derbys or micrometeorites, which uh, you can see in space. They are always present in the space environment. So these mm, things which are present in the space environment are not in the troposphere, or they are they means microgravity is not as effective as it is. Acoustic sound is not present. Ionospheric plasma is not as effective. There is no vacuum. Temperature ranges are not extreme. So the aviation nutrition, which comes in space nutrition, is pretty different from the outer space nutrition. Now, a lot of students get confused between microgravity and zero gravity. So both the conditions are different, and this is why uh, many students use the term because they sound similar. They think that they are the same. Microgravity is basically is a condition in space where only a very minute, or you can say microgravitation, can be experienced, but the gravitation is experienced but in a very very negligible amount, right? So in microgravity we call it as we experiences free fall, means nothing is there to pull you down, or if it is there, it is in a very negligible amount, and you are experiencing the free fall. But microgravity doesn't mean there is no gravity, right? While in zero gravity, what happens? You the body loses the sensation, means it loses the sense of weight, that the weight cannot be experienced. So basically, microgravity is a condition while zero gravity is a phenomenon. And these two, that's what these two things are different. And zero gravity means zero weight, means you are having weight, but you are not experiencing the weight of anything at a particular point. Like you can see in this picture, uh, uh, those who are doing the skydiving and all, they experiences the microgravity, right? Now a lot of students come and ask that why we need space explorations. What is the need of space explorations? Why basically we are studying space nutrition and aviation nutrition, or what? So firstly, why we need is the curiosity. Because of curiosity and exploration, humans have a tendency to search something new which is still unknown or uncovered, or is still under the process of getting uncovered. So curiosity and exploration are the basic human tendencies which make you reveal lot of things in the coming future, which are good as well as many a times which are very surprising as well. Second, Why we need space exploration is because of the scientific discoveries and understanding of space, and particularly in respect of Earth, that how Earth is uh, being made, what are the changes what Earth is experiencing in the present time, and so on, and how the life will be on Earth on the in the coming time as well. There are a lot of many aspects which we understand about the space and the Earth itself, which give a very clear understanding of human existence and how human survival is in the present condition, and how it can be improved or taken far away in the time span where human race can live more longer, for a longer period in a healthier way, because human body is undergoing a lot of changes. If you see the from the past time as well, you will experiencing that these changes have brought what humans are today and how humans look like today. Then Earth, the space environment has a very close relation with the Earth's climate and the environment. So exploring space also gives a very strong understanding and deeper understanding about the Earth's climate and environment, and how and to predict the future things or the coming things in the, and the climate and environment has a direct relation with the human food, health, nutrition, medicine, everything. Then the space exploration gives the advancement in all the R&D areas, uh, agriculture, foods, medications, technologies, innovations, AI and robotics, and also develops a new industry, new market for jobs, for work, for innovations, for everything. Then resource extraction. What we know today was once never known, but gradually when humans explored, when we explored the things, then we came to know about the present resources which we have. And it is a big industry, and it is having a huge scope, that new resources are developing, new resources are being explored, and their uses, and how effective and sustainable living can be made. Then backup for humanity if something happens to Earth, or some drastic changes happens where the race should be shifted, or to what place can be made as a habitat for humans or for life. Then resource sustainability is a big domain, including food, because food is the basic necessity of every life. So resource sustainability, when we talk about in terms of food, is very important base for space explorations. Then yes, definitely the collaboration and knowledge exchange and education, this is a very upcoming area when it comes to space explorations. Now if we talk about uh, the space nutrition itself, so from very starting, from the early times when humans have started experiencing the space, or have taken the space as a mission, in a form of mission. So a lot of challenges and a lot of changes as well uh, occurred in the course from starting till date. So in the early 60s, the space mission was basically conducted by the US and the Soviet Union, which was the Mercury. The early space astronauts basically use basic foods which are non-perishable. Means perishable means which gets easily spoiled or gets deteriorated, and non-perishable means which gets difficult or which takes longer time to get deteriorated or spoiled. So when we talk about the early missions, um, the astronauts used to only have this non-perishable food in a very small quantities, only in a pureed or dried form. And this is because when you go to a higher altitude or in outer space, you need to check for every weight you are carrying, right? Because that will create a problem for food weight, preparation, packaging, everything was a big issue uh, in zero gravity or in a microgravity that time. Then astronauts gradually used to combine these kind of foods and used to have a very small portion of meal, means only a bite-sized meal, very very small sized meal they used to eat have, which has deteriorated their health and has made failed a lot of missions because of this thing. The mission Gemini, which gradually experimented with foods and the food packages, gradually has developed some innovations. Then in this mission, you can say in the early missions, the challenging of food texture, packaging is a big issue in the microgravity environment. After a lot of research, one breakthrough which we got is development of vacuum sealed food containers, means which you see today that you get every time the sealed packed, means there's vacuum and the food doesn't get spoiled in that vacuum container, was not just for the modern food which you see here and there in the market, but it was basically developed for the space and astronauts, so that they can experience a non-contamination of food, and food can be stored for a longer time. Then in the second mission, which was Apollo, the focus was on the creation of variation in the diets, because earlier there was not too much variation, very limited variation was there. The portion size was very small, which created very big issues in bodies of astronauts, in the survival of the astronauts, and when they are coming back to the earth, their survival was very difficult. So that thing started coming up with the people who used to travel in space. Then focus was on the variation in the food, the how we can make the food compact, more convenient to more like a handy food we can make. And with this idea come came the rehydration of food, means food can be uh, freezed, food can be rehydrated, and all the advanced technologies or the tools and machinery development. The main iconic eating of the astronaut, which was a moon meal, is a kind of a pre-packaged meal for missions, which had brought a lot of successful events in the missions and has improved the sustainability and survival rates for the astronauts in the space mission. So basically, this early missions of the space has given a key development of food cubes and freeze dried meals. Then previously the missions were like of very small duration, like for 1 day or two, not more than that. But after, as the space missions are have started for longer duration, we have started establishing uh, the shuttles. We have started uh, establishing the space stations. Gradually, that duration has increased the need of this food and nutrition and healthy food and nutrition for this, which basically again posed a challenge that okay, we have developed food and everything for 1 or 2 day, uh, 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours survival. But what about if we are our astronauts are unable to come for 4 days? So that posed a big challenge. Then they started developing the packaging. They started developing the storage material specified for the space food. So they came up with vacuum sealed bags, cans, foil, foil pouches. So processing technology was developed a little bit. New innovation was developed little bit in the early missions, but now the packaging industry and the processing industry and the food storage section got worked on. Then earlier everything was what the astronauts used to have is very dry or processed, highly processed, or you can say ultra processed foods. So when we say about food, when we talk about food, food plays a lot of role. So if you're not eating a fresh food or you're not experiencing uh, the freshness of the air, you won't start. You will start feeling dead. Your mind will start feeling dead. So that was experienced by the astronauts that we are not getting fresh food, we are not getting things. So that alterations in this psychology because of the food hampered the mission, started hampering the mission. So then they have started in working on how fresh foods and vegetables can be supplied or resupplied or grown in the space. That was a very big challenge because space environment is very different, and it is a big challenge to grow anything fresh or to make anything uh, unspoiled or to keep increase the shelf life of a fresh food. Means one on one side you have to keep the food fresh as well, on the other side you have to increase the shelf life as well. So that was a big challenge, but gradually the nutrition industry and the food industry got successful in supplying this fresh foods and vegetables. But not definitely not all the foods are supplied freshly, but yes, to some extent we got success in this. Then the breakthrough again was on the cooking techniques. Earlier, only the food which was supplied from the earth was only eaten, even if they get less food or the food finishes and the mission is continuing. Then again, the astronauts used to experience challenges. So special ovens, heaters, reheating devices, cutleries, everything was started designing, and that is how we started surviving more in a more better way for a long-term missions. Then we established the space stations. By that time, space stations were not established in the space. Now, with lot of efforts, the International Space Station was got established, and with the establishment of ISS, lot of things started working in a more strategic way. Means provision of nutrition enhanced diet for astronauts, checking of the medical uh, survival things, the biomedical tests, uh, the nutrition retention range of in every astronaut, and how much they can tolerate this degradation of space environment, everything, their performance, their quality life before and after coming from the space environment. These all were very much worked on systematically, including with the uh, packaging and agriculture industry got uh, grew up in this space. Now space agriculture is also a big hot area in every way, whether you can say in R&D, research and development, or in terms of money, or in terms of economic development for country. And yes, the biomechanics section, the this whole thing has given a very deeper understanding how human body is working in different environments and how it is sustaining in different environments. Then in 1970s, NASA established Skylab, which was a big achievement. This Skylab has the orbital workshop in it. It was first grew like a small lab in space, but later grew up working on different domains. It establishment of Skylab was a big milestone for food, nutrition, and human health in space. And the Sky, because of this establishment of Skylab, the advancement or the study of human body in terms of nutritional requirement, body composition, body behavior, and food metabolism, from ingestion to everything, it worked on. Besides food packaging, how preparation, preservation, and food security and supply, these every domain was worked by the Skylab. The Skylab has also introduced the human clinical and therapeutic studies and practices advancements in terms of space, which is again a very big field. And as I told that agriculture, sustainability, and nutrition of uh, humans and human associated things on Earth and space is a big area in the coming time and in the present time as well. So these domains made these advancements, the requirement of advancements made this uh, food and nutrition domain are very important in the coming time and in the present time as well. Those people who are working in this domain are are working very good. You can see that this is how the food is used to like. Means when we in the mercury was there, then the food used to be in this brown shade, the very dry form. Then in Gemini mission, food used to be like in a small packets, vacuum packing got introduced, which we say basically a retort packing. Retort packing was not as advanced as it today, but it got introduced. Then in Apollo missions, the variety got introduced along with other advancements. And after the establishment of Skylab, you can see. This is how, and the astronauts used to eat food. Now they can carry the cutlery, the fork, the butter fork, the knife, butter knife, the spoons. They can carry, but still there are a lot of challenges which the astronauts or the space people used to experience. Now, if we talk about the changes, this is we have talked about that how space is working and how over a period of time we have achieved from scratch till what we are experiencing today. So why all these advancements are required? The advancements are got the idea of requirement because of the physiological and biomedical alterations the human body experiences in space. As I told that the environment of troposphere, which is aviation nutrition, and which is and in the uh, outer space are different. So few concepts are applicable to the aviation nutrition as well, but in a very, very small amount. So, first reason is that the basic functioning of body changes. You can see here the adaptability of human body in space. In the first image, which is on ground, which is 1g. G is the unit of gravity. That is how we measure. So if you are on Earth space, sorry, Earth surface, your body will you, be under the gravitational pull. The fluid or the proportions of your body, the physical appearance of your body will be normal. But when you start moving in space during the initial stage in space, the body fluids starts shifting from lower body to upper body. Means we know that fluid moves from um, upside down, means towards the gravity. But now your body is moving from away from gravity, so the body fluid, which is your blood, basically blood, your interstitial fluid, your cellular fluid, your brain fluid, everything which is in a fluid state in your body will start moving towards upper side. Means your the lower body is not experiencing the gravity, so the fluid starts moving, or you can say starts accumulating in on the upper side, in the chest area, on the face, in the head, and the lower body starts becoming deprived of fluids, so it will start thinning in the initial stage. But as you stay in the space environment for some time, the body fluid starts getting redistributed. So redistribution starts, but only after you reach the space environment. As the space shuttle moves from Earth to the space, almost for few hours, the astronaut experiencing a big shift in their body. Many a times, this shift can be detrimental for them and may cause even death or any other major health issue or in their body. So after the body gets adjusted with or adapted with the microgravity, then the fluid starts, body fluid redistributes. But again, when the astronauts return back to the uh, Earth environment after their exploration, then again the body start experiencing the effect of space even after coming back from Earth. And then the real challenge starts, even which is much more challenging than living in space, because now body has adapted now a normal life. So because of this alteration and the adaptability, all these human body systems which you are seeing here are going to experience lot of changes. So uh, in if you talk about, and as well as your the musculoskeletal, means your skeletal system and muscle system. So these things made the nutrition domain to work even more, because your body is completely dependent on nutrition. Nothing else can work on your body. Only nutrition is the primary thing which is on which your body is completely based. If we talk about the bones, uh, usually the astronaut faces lot of decline or degradation in the bone mineral density, means the bones become less dense, the bone matrix uh, experiences decline or degradation, you can say demineralization. And because of this demineralization, the urinary calcium increases, means calcium in the urine start increasing. Because of the this calcium excretion in the urine increase, the risk of renal stones increases, means the astronauts start experiencing a lot of issues in stone formation issues. Poor bone, fragile bone, easy to break. Same goal, same thing happens with the muscles. Muscle mass decreases, your muscle strength decreases. Astronaut experiences a lot of weight loss, extreme weight loss. Their hands and legs becomes very thin. Their muscle resistance is becomes very weak. Capillary density becomes weak. Be- because of this, their heart function also gets hampered. And because of the changes in the body fluids, means body fluid starts behaving in a different way in environment. So uh, heart has to work more to pump the to pump the blood to the whole body, because the fluid is more concentrated towards your upper body, but lower body is not getting the fluid. But when you are on earth, your lower body gets more fluid in comparison to your upper body, right? So this huge shift makes the heart more weak. The fluid volume decreases, means your blood volume decreases, your urine excretion increases, the basically the fluid loss, you can say, increases. The immune system gets weakened. Erythrocytes, which is basically the RBCs, which we say the RBCs, RBC destruction increases, means RBC gets damaged very easily. So on one side, RBCs are getting decreased. On other side, there's vacuum. There's no oxygen. They experiences severe hypoxia many a times. So which is a very challenging situation for them. Then your endocrine system behaves differently. Uh, your uh, all the endocrine glands, means your including your reproductive system, your neurovestibular system, every system gets uh, very much affected. And two three systems which gets majorly affected is your brain and the neurovestibular or system. The second is your musculoskeletal system, and third is the fluid system. These things and fluid and endocrine system, these systems are majorly affected because in space, even if you are traveling through the aeroplane, you start experiencing the motion sickness. The motion sickness because of space environment or the higher altitude. So this motion sickness increases, your body posture changes, and coordination, the brain coordination for activities, for things literally changes. The vision, the way they see things changes. The ocular means the issues of eyes are very common, whether you can see in a airplane pilot or any pilot of aviation industry, whether a fighter jet or a helicopter or whatever. So they wear a specific kind of shades to protect their eyes. But the in the space environment, the astronaut experiences more intense issues. Then cell shape changes. The cell shape changes because, and which makes them more prone to different cancers. And the thymus, again, the T cell production from the thymus gets decreased again, which also increases more increase in the risk of cancers or different new diseases, even if they are returning back to earth. So all these changes are there. You can see have uh, you can see that because of the headward shift, fluid shift, the face is becoming more round, more fluid on the face, more swelling on the face, and they experiences the muscle atrophy. Means the you can see the hand which is very thin. So on earth, usually we experiences muscle hypertrophy, but in space, astronaut experiences atrophy, means the degradation of muscles. So all these changes pose lot of risk to the uh, astronaut in space and in term when they are coming to the earth, back on earth. And the microbiome of astronauts, the gut microbiome changes. And one big thing which is there, which that what medication which we take on earth does not work on their body. The same, suppose you are taking in any medication for headache, right? So that medication will not work in space in the same way. It might work in a very hyper way, it might work almost like nothing. So drug resistance, or you can say drug elimination, or drug metabolism, or drug effect, they are very different in space environment. So which again affects the nutrition metabolism as well. So this thing has also made nutrition and food very important for the space domain. Now you can see here in this picture that how the astronauts are eating. So after all these issues, we are continuously working on those, and we have paved some small amount of pathway for the astronauts in the present time. And food, dining, and nutrition in space is comparatively more better in comparison to the previous time. But before we go ahead, we need to understand what is basically food. and what can be given based on that as concept, what can be given to them. So basically, food is basically a edible part or a whole of plant, animal, or microorganism, which is basically safe for human consumption and provides all the nourishment to the body to perform every possible function from physical to mental to motor activities, which is not poisonous or which does not changes into poison if which doesn't changes the food into poison. So all these things make anything uh, like food. So talking about food is means that we are providing a very important thing to the astronauts or those who are moving to the space. So here there are, you can see there are a lot of functions which food serves, from provision of effective nutritional meals to meeting their uh, function, physical, mental, social, recovery, rehabilitation functions, providing them the flexibility to eat food, convenience food, creating a variety in their foods, then promoting space agriculture, again maintaining sustainability both in space as well as on Earth, and developing new domains in terms of innovation and development. Now, why basically uh, just giving food is okay, or the quality of food also matters? Yes, the quality of food also matters, as you need good food, good quality food on Earth. You need good quality of food on the space stations, in shuttles, space shuttles, in space environment as well. So, why it is important? Because if the quality of food is good, then we can maintain the body composition according to the altered and the enhanced needs of the space environment. Then the ratio of macro, micro, and fluids and the other non-nutritional components is not same as we have on Earth. So that balancing is different for astronauts, and the balancing for normal people like you and me, which are on Earth, is different. So that balancing can be maintained. The nutrient bioavailability in their body can be enhanced. The energy balance can be maintained, basically to support all the motor activities. Motor activity basically are the activities which are done from muscles. So skeletal muscles, motor activity and non-motor activity, the exercise, prevention of nutritional deficiency diseases and MNDs and others can be done. Food security and safety areas can be improved. Environment and climate alterations on Earth can be improved as well. Then nutritional gap and health sustainability can be worked on in a better way. One important thing which this space nutrition focuses on, that is genetic modifications and intergenerational traits, means intergenerational transfer of diseases, intergenerational modification in the genetics, and they can be studied in a very uh, advanced way. These areas can be studied so that the human race or the genetic modification on earth as well can be worked on with a very applicable approach, which is very very important, because human body have experiences lot of alteration, and lot of genes have almost got eliminated from the genetic coding of humans, particularly males. So the so lot of genetic studies are done, uh, which can make the human survival more efficient. Then combating with the space environment effects, both before going to space and even after coming back to Earth, and making the space explorations more successful is that is how nutrition is working. Food studies in the space aspects are working. Now you can see that this is how food is, or you can say the nutrition is affecting. Can you see the image? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you see this image? This is how, this is almost the end. So, so you can see that the nutrition is working on microgravity, nutrition is working on radiation, and space environment gives a very very strong confinement. Means if you are sitting alone for longer hours, for days, you are seeing nobody, only everything is black around, nothing else is there, only jet black environment, then you will mentally start deteriorating. You will feel you will start feeling that I am trapped. It will give starts changing your brain behavior. It your human behavior. It can make you more anxious. It can make you more angry. It can change the way you are behaving or continuing your mission. So sense of confinement is becomes very strong. Then sense of isolation means we cannot go back to earth. We cannot meet with uh, our loved ones. What will happen to us? Lot of things affects the astronauts. Besides, there are a lot of space related issues as well, which I have mentioned previously. All these issues, space issues, are very effectively for, combated with the nutrition. Then food related issues means if you don't get food, even on earth you don't get food, you becomes angry. The way you see food, the way you sense food means you are feeling tasty, you are feeling more salty, you are more feeling more sugary. All these taste perceptions, food perceptions changes in space. And again, once the alteration gets settled in the astronaut's body, even after returning back to Earth, the alteration gets maintained, and even on Earth, it for them it becomes very difficult for the survival. Then yes, the gender, your age, at which age you are going to a mission, what is your background culture, what are your food habits. Suppose you are a non-veg, you are a vegetarian, but the food which you are getting in space has a non-vegetarian component, then definitely for you it will be difficult to survive in this space. So again, all those domains are worked on very effectively you can work on these all domains by creating new foods, by developing newer areas, and making the food more healthier and sustainable for both the aviation industry as well as for the space industry. And if if we talk about nutrition, it is very very much working if we talk about aviation industry, because earlier we used to travel less, but now we used to travel very very frequently and more with airplanes. So with the growth of aviation industry, the need of proper food, healthy food, safe food is has grown. You might have seen a lot of newses which have came in the recent past that uh, some spoiled food was uh, served by some aviation brand. I will not quote the brand name, the airline's name, but it is pretty well there in the news that some wrong, the poor food, because of poor food quality, safe food safety issues, the aviation airlines have experienced a lot of backlashes, and the industry, the particular airlines got a lot of complaints other than that also. Then again, these kind of issues are also addressed in nutrition if we see or study or work in space nutrition. Now, you might have this question that why, if okay, we have studied, and what is the scope? What will be the scope if you study the space nutrition? This one and the most biggest scope that you will going to get a better and more deeper understanding of human systems, body biology, body adaptations in different environments and conditions, which is going to be a very, very big asset for you if you are working in any industry associated with humans, or any, it can be a pharmaceutical, it can be a regular healthcare, it can be a foods, it can be anything. But if you are having a very vast and deeper understanding of human body, then you will get a very easy job, or where you can be get a lot of opportunities in terms of work. Then second thing is is the this space nutrition domain provides the resource to minimize the skill and associated working opportunities in research academia and your product development. Means you are with minimum resources, with minimum available skills, what opportunities you can create for academics, for research, for any kind of product or tool development, machine development, AI, or any other domain associated. Then this field gives you a better, as it gives you the better understanding of the human body system. You can pretty well work in terms of public health, nutrition, deficiency diseases, human metabolism, biochemistry, and nutrient utilization, which also focuses on the pharmaceuticals as well. Or you can say the supplement industry as well. You can work on. Then you get a better opportunity to explore the other countries and study in other countries, because if you are working in such area which is very niche and you are having a knowledge of a niche area in a very in-depth way, then definitely you get better opportunity outside India to get absorbed. Then product development is a very very big domain, particularly if we talk about space, because in earth environment you can grow a lot of foods, lot of, most of the experiments, whether on food, whether on a human body, are carried on within the earth's environment, which gives you a fair enough idea, to some extent. But again, if you make the food successfully grown or something happens successfully in the actual space environment, then it is something very big you can work with, and it will be a lifetime asset for you, and for your recognition, for your financial upliftment as well, whether yourself or your countries as. Then in nutrition, human brain and neurological sciences again is a big area. See, brain is the most mysterious organ of human body, and still we are unable to understand and explore the brain, human brain, not even 50%. So if you are working in this domain, particularly space, you have a huge opportunity for working in human brain and neurological sciences, which is very in even on earth, and in, if you talk about the aviation or space industry. Then as I told you, the pharmaceutical industry is a big market, big area where you can work on. Gut microbiome is a very big area where even on earth, if you are working in any of the industry, foods, processing, supplements, nutraceuticals, you can go uh, to a long way when it comes to drug nutrient or nutrient drug interaction in human body as well as human in different environments. So now we have understood that there are a lot of scope if we are going to study space nutrition or human sciences in space or human biology in space. So if you really found the domain very interested, you have a very big opportunity in the coming time. And uh, Poornaposhhanam Foundation has aerospace and defense studies as the specific area of study with a very specialized department. So our our studies are completely scientific, completely research based studies. We do a lot of in-depth analysis. We dig down deep to every uh, topic domain which we are making in front of you, which we are presenting in front of you, which we are giving to all our students. So, and in India, no um, uh, particular institute is offering this course specifically. So we have this course. We have one course of space nutrition. We have this one course of space nutrition uh, with us, which is right now working, which is available. But we are bringing two more courses for space nutrition, which is your space biomedical sciences and uh, space foods, which will be coming up for the upcoming probably 2025. You might have these courses, but right now only there's this general certification in space nutrition we are offering. Lot of testimonials you can see. These all are the testimonials of students which have pursued our course. A lot of students found the course very scientific, very strategically made, very, and the instructors of the course are very uh, making the course or the specific high advanced area, the knowledge very in a very simple way so that everybody can understand. Because if you are not understanding what you are learning, it will be very difficult for you to understand that how this area or the study which I'm studying will be beneficial for me.